Hi, everybody. My name's Brian, and let's have a chat. A chat about two things. One is generally my skill level at brewing, which longtime viewers of the channel will know is low, quite low. If somebody hands me a deck that's pre-tuned, I can generally wrap my head around it and pilot it okay, but I don't make a lot of stuff from the ground up. And also, let's talk about burn in Legacy. So let's first tackle my brewing capabilities. I thought for years I was bad at Magic until I came back to it as an adult and I took other people's deck lists and I was managing to actually pilot them to doing okay. I never claimed to be particularly good at this game. I'm fair to middling at best, but the good news is a lot of smarter people play this game and they come up with lists that normally any old schmuck can take and pilot to relative success. Now, I've never said I'm going to win any sort of large event. Largest event I ever won was a modern cash event in Good Games Hurstville, a store that doesn't even exist anymore, and I won with Burn in Modern. But we're not in Modern, we're in Legacy right now. And here we have some weird amalgamation of Phoenix and Burn. Well, what happened here? What happened here was this, and if you saw last week's video, you will recognize this box. This is a Phoenix deck I put together with a stipulation, and I find that restriction breeds creativity, and what has happened here is this is a deck that can exist at the same time in my paper collection while Sneak and Show is together and while my taxes list is together. So essentially, I have three fully ready to go Legacy decks at any given time, which gives me the ability not also to have choice, but to hand decks to my friends who play Legacy so that they can switch it up as well, because not everyone has such a vast backlog of cards like I do from a wasted youth. So I looked at my collection, I looked at what I already owned, because I didn't buy anything to put into this deck, I already had to own it, which is why a couple of odd selections are here. And I was like, okay, let's try this. I'm gonna go up to an F&M that's Legacy. There is at the time of this recording, there's a Friday night Magic Legacy event in Chatswood, Sydney, New South Wales. Come on down and join us if you're in the area. Everyone's very friendly. And I looked at what I had, and then I looked at Legacy Burn. And Legacy Burn, I own the whole deck. It's actually very, very easy to put together, Legacy Burn. But Legacy Burn is not a deck I've seen do particularly well in my local meta in Chatswood. So I was like, okay, what else is there? Like Legacy Burn, don't get me wrong, it's a strong deck, but clearly it's the budget deck. It's the deck you could put together if you're on a budget and you're trying to go. And there's ways to tune it and there's ways to do things. But I kind of went to the moon here. And that brings me to Legacy Burn. Legacy Burn, I feel like, was a strong deck 10 years ago, but it needs a vast reconfiguring in order to start taking things down. Do something more than just let you show up to even an F&M in Legacy and allow you to start taking down events. And I think you have to splash black. Well, that was the impetus of this, because a Legacy Burn deck with some Orcish Bowmasters, that sounds great. And I do own 2 Badlands in paper, and that's enough to splash some black, right? Well, I was looking through my trade binders, and I found Arclight Phoenixes. I had a full playset of Arclight Phoenixes from who knows when, and I was like, wait a second. If I just try and do a low to the ground, as you can tell here, 28 1-drops, burn deck, 4 Chain Lightnings, 4 Lightning Bolts, 4 Lava Darts, Monastery Swiftspear, and Dragon Rage Channelers to kind of get on the ground early, and then I have Entombs and Metamorphoses, along with the Faithless Lootings, to put the Arclight Phoenixes in the bin, and then I add some Mishra's Baubles to make the Dragon Rage Channelers kind of turn on a lot faster. That seems like a deck in itself. And recently, I had gotten Molten Collapses for Grixis Delver. I actually hadn't gotten to play Grixis Delver in paper yet, but I already owned the Molten Collapses because I had plans to use them in a different deck. And I was like, okay, this is crazy aggressive. Let's see what it can do in my local meta. And last Friday, guys, it won. Admittingly, I had the first round bye. Anyone who was at GG Chatswood would know I got the first round bye, and I was quite vocal about being upset with that because I was playing a brew and I was trying to tune it. But then after that, I did go 3 for 3 in the next rounds, and I just won the tournament outright. So clearly something's here. And while there are burn decks in Legacy, and there are Phoenix decks in Legacy, they don't look like this. The Phoenix lists are more about using Buried Alive and Black Rituals in order to get your spell count up and put 3 birds in the air at once. Whereas this deck is more of turn 1, get a Swifty or a Swifty or a Dragon Rage Channeler down, and then turn 2, try and get the Arclight Phoenixes out, and just try and take it from there. And it's very low to the ground, and it's very fast. And that's the whole idea of the deck. And the fact that it already took down a game in paper, in fact, it took down 3 matches in paper, leads me to wonder if it can do well on Midgo, which is a completely different monster. First of all, Legacy Paper and Legacy Midgo are different formats. Thank you, Fallout. But even beyond that, I think I got a lot of games in my local meta because people didn't know what I was doing. I'm known for Sneak and Show, I'm known for Delver, for a lesser extent, I'm known for Taxes. But this was off the wall, and nobody knew what I was doing. Now, before we get into the games, which I'm going to do 5 one-on-ones, I'm not going to do a league because I do want to play with this. Even though this did quite well in my paper meta, I do want to play with these artifacts. I was thinking Lotus Petals or Lion's Eye Diamonds. So if it doesn't do well on Midgo, we do want to change the list if it's getting its face stomped. But also, let's take a look at the sideboard. So we have 4 surgical extractions because A, they're free spells for Phoenix, and B, you do need to stop your opponent's graveyard sometimes. In Legacy, we have Pyroblasts to stop blue things. Also, they're very good with just getting a Phoenix out of the yard because it can target a permanent that's not blue and still let the spell go off. We have some Roiling Vortexes. These I'm 50-50 on. You bring them in to try and stop your opponent from gaining life, but at 2 drops, it's actually the top end of this deck and doesn't seem that great, but it does stop things like Solitudes or just the affinity decks. 2 Magus of the Moon, they can lock your opponent out of most colors, and also they come into bash. They're probably 1 mana too many, but they're doing okay in this deck, and when they work, they work. They do cut me completely off of black, because if you look at the mana base here, we have 7 mountains, a whole bunch of fetches, and 2 badlands, and that's it. So if I play a Magus of the Moon, I have to give up on Entomb and Molten Collapse. We have a Fury and a Pyrokinesis. I only own 1 Pyrokinesis in paper, that's why Fury's here, but they essentially do the same-ish thing. Pyrokinesis would be slightly better because it allows the Phoenixes to come out of the yard because it is a spell. And finally, Meltdown just to take out artifacts because Chalice of the Void dumpsters us. Deafening Silence dumpsters us, but luckily we have Molten Collapse, which stops Deafening Silence along with the Chalice of the Void. Really, the one we can't do anything about, and you'll notice I've just kind of given up on trying to deal with it, is Leyline of the Void. If Leyline of the Void comes down, my only plan is my 8 bolts and my Monastery Swift Spears and hope. So join me on this adventure to see if my rogue brew here can do well, not only in a small F&M in Sydney, Australia, but also on Midgo, where people are a little bit more diversified in their threats and in their ability to answer a deck with 28 1-drops. All right, join me, won't you? All right, so we lost the die roll, and this hand also does nothing. You really do need a good opening hand, so this deck does involve a bit of luck in winning the die roll and getting a good opening hand. This is better, so we keep this put what back? I feel like we keep... So we have to make a decision here. Do we want to try... Because, if we find another land, we can go off turn 2 and get an Arc-like Phoenix into play. So either we have to hope for Arc-like Phoenix, or we just go Dragon Rage Channeler. I think we're just going to go Dragon Rage Channeler. We're going to put the Manamorphose back, and we're going to see what our opponent has up here. We're going to move this because I don't feel like being responsible for my opponent's chat. Swamp Go? All right. A mountain. Well, now don't we feel silly. So we'll play Dragon Rage Channeler. The other thing we could have put back was the Bauble. No, Mountain to Graveyard. Don't need any more of those. Thank you. What we need now is a Manamorphose, which is a card we put to the bottom, which isn't great. A Thoughtseize. Well, at least I don't feel bad about that anymore. We get a Monastery Swift Sphere. So I guess they get rid of the Faithless Looting. Dark Ritual. That's not good. So this deck is really soft to combo. The One Ring. Oh, okay. So we essentially take a turn off here. Molten Collapse. So I think the first thing we do here is Faithless Looting. Arid Mesa. No, we want the Arid Mesa at this point, I think, because Badlands is just going to get blown up. So we get rid of Arclight Phoenix. I'm even going to get rid of Molten Collapse here. I don't think Molten Collapse is where we're at. So that turns on the Dragon Rage Channeler. Get another mountain. Play Swifty and just pass. The Dragon Rage Channeler has to attack. It just bounces off their One Ring. Next turn, we have a lot of damage going on, though. If we draw another 1-drop, which our deck has plenty of, we do get the Arclight Phoenix back. We did have to take a turn turn off, which is unfortunate. Like, we lost out on 4 damage. And our opponent, I think very clearly, is just doing Shieldreds and One Rings, all sorts of stuff. So I had to hope to just aggro out rather than worry about things like, sure, you saved yourself 3 damage. So now we specifically have to find Lava Dart. Dark Ritual again. Is this just Shieldred now? Liliana of the Veil. Sure thing. We'll just give up on Swift Spear, I think. If we find Manamorphose, that's cool. Entomb. I don't think I do anything. I think I just kill Lily and hope that their hand's not great. And then next turn, we try and get some Phoenixes going. So already we're kind of not doing great because this deck really wants to win like turn 3, turn 4. And our opponent just filling their hand up with the One Ring is very scary. Dark Depths. Vampire Hexmage. End of the game, I think. So, yeah, I think we just got dumpstered here. We'll go ahead and draw and see if we can do anything. Another Entomb. Nope, that's not going to do it. All right. What do we do now? So they're mono black, I think. Maybe Magus of the Moon, and that's about it. Take out 2 Baubles, put in 2 Magus. Just kind of hope from there. All right, we'll go first. 1 land, 2 birds. No Faithless Looting, though, so let's try again. Okay, this is great. This is amazing. So put a land back. Done. If we get hand disrupted, we get hand disrupted, but I'll just go ahead and play an Arid Mesa and pass. Because then next turn, it's Manamorphose, Faithless Looting, and Tomb. If they go first turn, like hand disruption, that's unfortunate. They didn't. We'll just go get a mountain. Swifty, well, you would have been helpful last turn, but this turn, we're not going to bother with that. We're even just going to go get another mountain because we have the Manamorphose. Oh, and also there's an Urborg, so they gave us as much black mana as right. Red, black. First things first, let's go with Faithless Looting. Another Entomb. Well, let's give up on Swifty. Let's give up on... I actually think Entomb is not good after the first one. Give up on those. Oh no, I didn't put the bird in the bin. I'm so silly. Oh no. You know, sometimes you do silly things and then you lose games because of it. So that was a punt, and that's, you can tell I'm still working with the new deck here. Dothy Voidwalker. Well, that makes things even worse now. So I like punted this into the sun. Oh, okay. Well, that makes things better. Maybe we can still get away with this. Here's my Magus of the... Oh, we stole it with Magus of the Moon. So I successfully unpunted. So Magus of the Moon turned out to be a really good card. So let's all forget I forgot to Faithless Loot a Arc-like Phoenix into the bin, but hey, I won the game. I got away with it. So what do we do now? Dude is on to us. So I think we just leave it as is. We have a ton of removal for things like Voidwalkers anyway. Like, I say we leave the 1 Bobble in, we just try. All right, so we're not going first. It has another Magus. Turn 1 Monastery Swift Spear, turn 2 Chain Lightning, turn 3 Magus. If he's that soft to Magus, I feel like he's gonna make sure he has black in his opening hand. I don't know, I'm gonna risk it. Our opponent mulled, so okay, they must have found the hand disruption. Leyline of the Void. Okay, I'm super glad I didn't mull to a hand that was heavily dependent on the graveyard. In fact, we have one of the few hands now that are not dependent on the graveyard at all. As talked about in the opener, we've just kind of given up on doing anything during a Leyline game outside of winning with Swifties and Bolts. So we have the Magus, which hopefully will absorb a bit of punishment. And we also have like Chain Lightnings and stuff to try and get through this. Thoughtseize. Well, there goes Magus of the Moon. There goes our turn 3 play. Oh, they got rid of the Bolt. They must have the combo in hand. Or they're hoping for a much slower game, and now things are moving fast. I do wish I had that Bolt to deal 5 here instead of 1. Next turn we get Magus. I feel like Magus is marked for death, though. Okay, there's 3 swamps. Let's get him out. Lightning Bolt. Oh, that's something we can do here. Attack. I mean, we're gonna have the art like, so we have plenty to do. And I feel like they got rid of my Bolt because they have something they must want to play. Is it just Shieldred? Oh, it's the One Ring. Okay. I mean, we take a turn off, but that's fine. I mean, we are getting all of our beaters down somehow. Here's Art Phoenix. And next turn, we just kind of go for the goat. Although, I suppose once they get a Shielder down, if they have an active One Ring, there's very little we can do. Just a Hex Mage. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Well, that's very easy. Dragon Rage Channeler. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. That's very easy. Swift Spear. And we have 6 damage in bolts as well. Because he has hand disruption, I'm even just going to fire this off now. I think they died to their own One Ring and we win the match. Yes! The random brew works. We're 1-0. Let's go. All right. Did we win the die roll? No, we lost the die roll. This is still a great hand, though. So turn 1, Swifty Bobble. Turn 2, Manamorphose, and turn Faithless. So we get to do quite a bit of damage in the opening turns. Okay. If this is Goblins, gets us pretty good. We don't have much for Goblins, if I'm being honest. So is this black or... Oh, is this Rhinos? We can race Rhinos. That's a fascinating first turn. Sure thing, buddy. Here's my Swift Spear. Here's my Bobble to confuse you. All right, nice and confused yet? No idea what I'm doing? That's great. What are you doing? Another Chrome Mox. Is this just Storm or something? I mean, here's the thing. We don't really interact with our opponent's deck, especially if they're not blue. Because we have some Pyroblasts, but we are just all in, you know, ready, set, go. Let's try and be fast. All right, so we get to draw a card. Hopefully we draw like a Phoenix. We draw a Mountain. Okay, that's fine. What do you have, opponent? Well, you have another Chrome Mox, so I mean, maybe it's just what'd you call it? Charbelcher. We have nothing for Charbelcher. Charbelcher just kind of runs us rampant. It's Charbelcher. Okay, Echo of Eons. Yeah, it's Goblin Charbelcher. Okay, cool. Just put Echo of Eons under that. Veil of Summer. Okay, there's a Petal. What do you do after Petal? You have 4. Yeah, there's the Charbelcher, and next turn you have 3. So we're dead pretty much. The next turn they just flip and deal us 1,000,000. So they're at 16. We even found the Arclight Phoenix. So let's do some math to see if this is even worth playing out. So Manamorphose makes Monastery Swift Spear deal 2. Faithless Looting has a deal 3. So 1 plus Manamorphose plus Entomb plus Faithless Looting is 4. Plus a 3 from Arclight Phoenix plus a 3 from Arclight Phoenix. Put them to 6. Even if we find off Faithless Looting 2 Lava Darts, we put them directly into the bin, that only goes to 14. And then they know what we're doing, and then they know to bring in Graveyard Hate. So we're just gonna scoop, and not much here, not gonna lie. Maybe Roiling Vortex, but yeah, we'd need to find exactly Roiling Vortex for them to really punch themselves in the face. Does Molten Collapse have any targets, actually? We put in some Surgicals just as free spells to try and go fast. Leave in a Molten Collapse in case they do something weird. But Molten Collapse has no targets. None whatsoever. Put in another circle. All right, let's try this. So if we had a hand like we had the first game, okay, we found pretty much what we want. So we have the Roiling Vortex, which hopefully kind of stops them pretty good. I don't know if they know what we're doing now. We might just lose out. Like if we play against combo 1,000,000 times, like this deck is just going to lose. It's not a Magic Wand or a Silver Bullet for the meta. Like I certainly didn't solve Legacy here, but as you saw from game 1, like it can do stuff. So the next turn we're just going to drop Roiling Vortex and hope. But if he goes off turn 1, like these are things that happen. I'm hoping that he just takes turn 1 to kind of go at his own pace, and then turn 2 I play Roiling Vortex, and that gets like all of these random. Oh no, do they have it? I mean, if they have it, they have it, and there's nothing we can do. Yeah, okay, they're just gonna do it turn 1. Tinderwall, sure, sacrifice it, play Charbelcher, end the game. God. Wow, okay, they just had a god hand, an absolute god hand. Yeah, no, that's the match. That is Legacy for you. I'd bring Force of Will or lose. All right, let's go again. If you were going to guess we were going to lose a die roll for a 3rd time in a row, then collect your prize. For we have lost the die roll yet again. This is just a super aggro hand. We'll keep a super aggro hand. Hopefully we're up against something like Control or the like. Savannah into what? Mother of Runes. That might even just get bolted. This is like a Maverick or a Taxes deck. Ooh, Lava Dart. That's even better. Pow. All right, so next turn we go Swifty. Unless they put down something that needs to get bolted, then we go Bolty Swift. Or Swifty Bolt. Swing for 2. Let's see what our opponent gets up to here. I apologize if you hear just everything in the background right now. There's a police car going by. There appears to be a lawnmower on my roof. Yeah, no, it's a great time to try and take the 15 minutes I have in my day to record a video for you guys to make the most noise outside. Love it. Scavenging Ooze. Okay, well, that can get bolted out of the way, too. This is like a Maverick deck. Play a Swift Spear, bolt the Ooze. I mean, if we find an Entomb or a Faithless Looting next turn, that's great. Opponent's on 4 cards. We are out of removal at this point, though. Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, that's a 3/3. Scalding Tarn. Okay, that's even going to make this next one funny. So Monastery Swift Spear, and we attack with the Swifties. Do you block opponent? You do. Okay, great. So So Mountain, Manamorphose, red. We find Entomb, Manamorphose. We're still gonna go, I guess we go red-black. Like, this has to be, it has to be at the beginning of combat. Whereas we're using our Manamorphoses as a combat trick here. So red, Balding Tarn. Okay, so they're literally just combat tricks. We lose our mana, that's fine. Opponent's down to 3 cards. We've removed everything thus far. We even just get to play an Rakdos Phoenix next turn, which is great. And we have a Lava Dart. Oh, they scoop. So the removals seem great. So Pyrokinesis and Fury. Take out 2 baubles. They're doing Knight of the Reliquary stuff. Let's just try this to start, and we'll see how the game goes. Another aggressive hand. We'll keep Mother of Runes. Well, opponent, you can guess what's going to happen to that. I'm running so much removal. Entomb. Okay, well, that's a plan for another life, but right now, just Mountain, bolt that thing. Don't be... Oh, Thalia, sure. Thalia's fine, given our hand is pretty creature-focused. A Lava Dart. Lava Dart will be next turn. This turn is actually going to be Monastery Swift Spear and what? Do we just do 2 Monastery Swift Spears, or do we do... I guess we do the Dragon Rage Channel. We try and diversify our threats here. Next turn, we can take down the Thalia with a Lava Dart and get them both to trigger. If we draw another land, that would be amazing, because then we even get to get another Monastery Swift Spear down. Windswept Teeth into another Reliquary, probably. Oh, what do you do? Oh, so it's going to kill what? Sure. All right, so we even have... Oh, no, we don't have 3 spells because of Thalia. We have 2. So... we have to set up for a hopeful future turn. So I think we just pass because we need to use the Lava Dart to kill Thalia. We kill Thalia and then we see if like it's super important to kill the Moloch, whatever this Warhammer Tyranid is. For a thing, we take 3. Scavenging Ooze is annoying, but is not the worst thing to see. We even got to play out a Noble Hierarch. So if we have the ability to do it on our turn, like if we find another 1-drop, that's great actually. All right, do we find a land or something? We find Faithless Looting. So we can even kind of go off here. So Faithless Looting. This time we remember to put the bird in. And probably even the Swift Spear is not where we're at. We even drew a Chain Lightning, so we get to kill the Scavenging Ooze. Let's just get a Badlands point. Entomb, Rakdos Phoenix, then Chain Lightning Ooze, and then Lava Dart, the blocker, Mountain, and the birds come back. And we just go to town here. They have a 3/3, and good for them. It is quite the 3/3. But we did a ton of damage, and we have 6 in the air next turn. All right, what do you got, opponent? Another Noble Hierarch, cool. You get to deal us 4 if you want? Okay, no. Keeps it up as blocking. 2 Dragon Rage Channelers. Well, first things first. They could have removals for the Arclights. Like, that's not unthinkable, if I'm being honest. All right, they're down to 2, and we have a million flyers. What do you have, opponent? Yay, we win the match! 2-1, let's go on to game 4. Oh my god, we won a die roll. All right, so we get to actually play first on our deck that's trying to aggro the F out, and this is even a hand that we can keep while trying to aggro the F out, because 2 Manamorphose and an Entomb, that actually allows us to do some damage and get at least 1 bird turn 2. Now, I was thinking about taking out some number of baubles and putting in some number of Lotus Petals, because that would allow us to go off turn 1. And, 3 mana turn 1 is better than, 3 damage turn 2. But we'll see how this goes. Ancient Tomb into, oh no. Oh, okay. I was about to say, if that's into like Chalice, then this is going to be a real quick game. This looks like the Karn combo deck, so we'll Lava Dart them for 1, get them nice and confused, play a Badlands. There's no way they're playing any sort of Wastelands with that deck. Howie. Draw. Faithless Looting. All right, so first things first, crunch that, get another Badlands, and we Manamorphose. First one will go black-red. We drew a Scalding Tarn, so second one we go black-red again. If we draw another Entomb, we feel bad, but, we didn't know that, and it's better to definitely have the damage than to not. So red, black. We drew a Monastery Swift Spear, so we play the Swift Spear, I think, and then we Entomb, get the Rakdos Phoenix. Do we Lava Dart? I don't think we do. I think we save the Lava Dart in case next turn we can get more birds in the bin. Deal 5, put them to 12. Next turn we have 5, 8, 9 damage, 10, 11. We have 11 damage, so if they don't go off this turn, we do have them. But they can also just play the One Ring and not deal with that, truth be told. But I think we did all the damage we humanly could. And then this way, if we find birds when we Faithless Loot, then we can still play birds. There's that. Okay, so they're going off. Paradox Engine. Oh no. So can they win is the question. Because they will have a certain number of 0 mana spells. Oh, if they just pass, the game's over. Okay. I guess they could have something. Let's, Faithless Looting. Are you going to counter my Faithless Looting, opponent? No, they seem to have thought better of that. Put back Scalding Tarn, put back Dragon Rage Channeler. Crack the Scalding Tarn, get a mountain, play Metamorphose. I'm actually going to go red here, I think, in case I draw a bolt. Molten Collapse, oh well. Can't win them all. Chain Lightning, did my opponent scoop? Is that why this is taking a second? Nope. All right, so we'll go to combat. Oh, no, they did scoop. All right, so Meltdowns. I mean, Roiling Vortexes and Magus of the Moon seem correct, but he goes so fast. So we can easily take out some baubles and not feel bad about the baubles. This is another reason why I was thinking about not having baubles in the deck, because they seem to come out a lot. Take out some Molten Collapses, because they're not really going to do much. Say we even do put those two in. And then like one Magus? Or is it more like Pyroblast? If we put in Pyroblasts, I reckon the Roiling Vortexes have to be like a thing, right? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Maybe if we just do this and only play two Pyroblasts, two Meltdown, two Roiling Vortexes. Hope that's enough. Let's try it. Unless we want Surgical for the graveyard-based Time Twister. Do we want Surgical? I don't know. Let's just try this. Let's try not to overthink. This might also be a match where going first is just very good and very important. I mean, we have a bit of aggro going on here. We have Faithless Looting and Swifties. So turn one Swifty, turn 2 Dragon Rage Channeler, Faithless Looting. Is that quick enough? Okay, let's do some math. So 1, and then the next turn it's 2, and then the turn after that it's probably 5. Depends on the Faithless Lootings. Is this honestly not fast enough? Because we don't... You know what? Let's try it. Let's try it because the Faithless Lootings might let us find some bolts and stuff. City of Traders into Grim Monolith. At least it wasn't Chalice. Grim Monolith into Manifold Key. Okay, well then they've mana'd the F out. Or mana... If it's just into One Ring, then that's a thing. We really hope we find Meltdown now. Lightning Bolt. All right, so we're back on the aggro plan. So here comes Monastery Swiftspear, and then next turn, depending on what we draw, we see where we're up to, because we have a whole bunch of 1-drops here. If our opponent plays Chalice on one, we are pretty donezo because we took Molten Collapse out. Yeah, untap, sure. You get 1,000,000 mana. You just play the Paradox Engine, Wormcoil Engine, Coveted Jewel combo. Okay, cool. They draw 3 cards. They keep going. They get 3 mana. I think they just combo out now, right? Man, we've been playing against a lot of combo. Phyrexian Metamorph, probably Uncoveted Jewel. We can't do anything. Yeah. So let's go ahead and watch the combo for a bit here. So they Coveted Jewel into 3 more mana. Do they have another Metamorph? They have another Metamorph, so they get to keep going on that one. Thus far, they've been doing pretty good on finding exactly what they need. Also, if they untap, they're gonna untap with 1,000,000 mana. Transmute Artifact. So they transmute that into the Paradox Engine? Yep. So now they pretty much have unlimited mana. Do they just win with a Walking Ballista? Because I gotta be honest, I don't actually know how this deck wins, so I do have to hang out and see how they're gonna do it. They just straight up found another Coveted Jewel. So we've learned something about mulling pretty aggressively into Artifact Hate. Because last game we won by being aggro, and this game we lost by getting to play Swift Spear and then losing the game. Yep. So apparently it's Emrakul. Oh, okay, there's also Sagas and One Rings and stuff. Fun. So that was fun. I mean, honestly, I think the Pyroblasts don't do anything. Take those out. Does Surgicals do anything? Probably not. It does something though. His baubles are just helping us be aggro a bit. And cross our fingers. All right. I would like to play first. I would like to have a hand with man. Well, we've learned something here. Did our opponent keep? Opponent mulled. I don't think against this combo deck we have the courtesy of time. Because even Dragon Rage Channeler into Faithless Looting, I mean that wins like turn 3, turn 4. He won turn 2. Let's try again. I think this is gonna be as good as it gets. So we mulled to 5. Does our opponent mull to 5? I mean, I wouldn't be the most upset if we win against everything that's not a combo and then we lose against combo. So put back Entomb, put back the Mountain. Play Dragon Rage Channeler, and hope our opponent takes at least 3 turns to get up and running. We don't even have a turn 3 kill in this hand. Or Monolith, sure. Scalding Tarn. But I don't actually know how to take a deck like this and turn it into something that can take out combo. I think it's just going to be soft to combo unless you drastically change how the deck works. Get to Surveil too. Chain Lightning, not really what we're doing. Entomb, probably fine. Next turn we get to get a bird. Although they could just win. Because we Entomb, we Lava Dart twice. I mean, I guess it depends on the Surveils, but I don't think we win next turn. Because we know we're getting an Entomb, and we do have 3 spells. We have Lava Dart, Entomb, so the bird gets to come out. If we get to... seems like our opponent's just going to win. If we we get a next turn, we might be able to win based on our surveils. But I think our opponent's just going to combo off. And like, this is what happens in Legacy when you're not playing blue. And this is why a lot of people do play blue, because it's the most powerful color in Legacy. And there are a lot of hilariously unfair decks if you're not playing blue just to Force of Will them. Like, if he got Force of Willed, I'm pretty sure his combo ends right there. But because he didn't get Force of Willed, meant he now gets to essentially just combo off because I have no answer for him. Now, maybe there's a world where he fizzles, but I don't think that's the case. I feel a little bit better losing to this deck than losing to the Charbelcher deck earlier. Charbelcher, like, I understand why things like Charbelcher are in the game. It's something that if somebody in the tournament's playing blue, it's not going to take it down. Like, again, it's like a haha funny deck, which admittingly my deck is too, but it does seem like a bit of a non-game. Oh, he's just going to show and tell out Emrakul? Or is he telling out Omniscience and then Emrakul? We got nothing to put out, buddy. Emrakul. Okay, so we do get a turn, not the one I wanted, but we get one shot to deal him 12. I don't think we can though, because Emrakul actually blocks one of the Dragon Rage channelers. So I guess it comes down to the surveils again. If we surveil some birds into the bin, we can actually do this, but it would really be runner. So like, if this Entomb, we see a bird, we put it into the bin, that's another 3. Also, if he just Force of Wills, okay, that's just the end of it too. Yeah, no, Mountain does us no favors. Another Lava Dart. I mean, that gives us more chances. Dart our opponent. Still trying to find birds. Anamorphose. No, we have no mana. Okay, 1 Arc-like Phoenix. That's 1. Now we have 2 more Lava Darts. I mean, we're going all in because we're losing everything next turn anyway. No, not a bird. We really need to find more Phoenixes right now. Nope, not a bird. So, if the next 2 cards on top of our deck are Art-like Phoenixes, we win. Come on, Arc-like Phoenix. Faithless Looting, no. Come on. We need 1 more bird. Lightning Bolt, no. No. So we put them literally to 2. If that Entomb didn't get countered, we actually would have won it. Oh wait, our opponent tells us we get the jewels. We win? Oh my god, we win so hard. What? Red. Can I just bolt you? I can't believe I won that. We win, what? 3-1 going to match 5. What's going on? All right, we lost the die roll, as is tradition. So we've won 1 die roll out of the 5 matches. Feels great. Doesn't really do anything now, does it? Mull. This is better. Get to do a whole bunch with the Dragon Rage Channeler. Although I think we do even give up on 1 bauble and just put 1 in the bin. Keep these other things, try and find a 3rd spell to get the Entomb going. Backwater Sewer. Oh, okay. So this is probably the Rescamator deck. Rescamator being tempo and combo. We have nothing for their combo side. We really don't. But depending on how slow they go, we might just surprise them. All right. So we even gotta go get a mountain off a fetch because we really only need 3 mana at the most. So no more mana would be great. Dragon Rage Channeler. I also got a mountain because Rescamator does play Wastelands. That can go in the bin. Now we have 3 card types in the bin. Oh, it's just a combo deck. Man, why do I keep playing against combo decks? This deck has nothing for combo decks. 5 matches, 3 combo decks. That's rough. Molten Collapse. Okay, that might do something. Lotus Petal. Is this just Storm? If it's literally just Storm, we got nothing. Lion's Eye Diamond, yep. I think we just get stormed out. And, guys, I show you all the games I play. And that shouldn't surprise anyone, because I don't have time to play, to not play the non-games. But, man, it's rough when you're like, oh, as long as I just dodge combo, it's fine. But, woof. So much combo today. So much combo. I like how they even time twisted us, and we didn't find any land in the next 7. Govions again, sure. Yeah, I don't think we're winning here. I think they just beseech and kill us. Their storm count's already at 11. Galvanic Relay. Oh, are they trying to win next turn? Well then. And we deal 20 damage in 1 turn. Let's find out together. So, Badlands. First Manamorphose. What do we find off the Surveil? A Lightning Bolt. We already have multiple bolts, so that can go in the bin. That's not really what we're looking for here. And we'll go red on the first one. We find a Faithless Looting. So, we're going to get at least 1 bird. So, Manamorphose again. Now, here again, we feel bad if we find an Entomb, but we don't know if we're going to find an Entomb. Monastery Swift Spear, not what we're looking for. Go in the bin. We go red, so we can bolt and we can loot. Yeah, and we didn't even find a black spell, so that was just objectively correct. So, Faithless Looting, bobble to the bin. Put away the Arc-like Phoenix, put away a Lava Dart, and then final spell is just the Chain Lightning, I reckon. Another Lightning Bolt. I don't think we survive next turn, if I'm being honest. So we can probably bin this and hope for greener pastures. Opponent can Lion's Eye Diamond take out my Dragon Rage Channeler. No, I didn't think so either. Here comes Arclight Phoenix and Dragon Rage Channeler. We put him to 11, but I don't see a world where they miss next turn, given all the redraws and stuff they're going to get. We have no more mana. We have a Lava Dart if they ever put themselves to 1. I don't see how they would. So for the next game, like, what do we even bring in against Storm? I don't think we have much to bring in against Storm, if I'm being completely honest. Again, like, this deck was created knowing full well it had a weakness, and the weakness I knew about was combo. We have now played against combo 3 times out of 5, which is rough. Storm, sure. I mean, what are they even looking for at this point? Because they have the Echo of Eons that they can just do. Yep, things are starting to come out of exile now. From Mox, sure thing. I don't see a world where they could possibly miss, but I think last week there was a moment where it wasn't quite that. Song of Creation, yep. Now they get to echo off a Lion's Eye. Well, if we can get the Vortex out, the roiling, vortexy thing, then their free spells will really hurt them, but that's going to require that to actually happen. And once they find, that, we're just dead. Concede. All right. So I guess surgicals, I guess roilings, meltdown's also very good. Take out all of our baubles. Molten Collapse is okay. The question here is surgical worth it? Because like Molten Collapse can nick one of their things if they play it out early. Although we don't have a lot of mana, so that's probably not where we're at. So what do we take out finally? Because like we need to go fast, absolutely. But is it just Chain Lightnings? That feels wrong, but it also feels correct. So if we take out the 2 Chain Lightnings, we have a whole bunch of hate to hopefully knock them off a center here and hopefully just be fast enough to react. So fingers crossed, let's go. So we get to go first. And if this hand had land, it would be great. So mull. Oh boy. No, I don't think this is fast enough. All right, we try. We keep. We put back 1 Entomb. We put back 1 Dragon Rage Channeler. We play Dragon Rage Channeler. We even get to get Arclight Phoenix's next turn. At least 1, because we could just surgical. Dark Ritual, sure. Thoughtseize, sure. He just turn ones us. That's a bit of a whimper to end this video, but hey, doing well against combo is real hard. Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, huh? Just turn 1 in, huh? It's going for the gusto on turn 1. Hey, Echo of Eons. Well, what do we want you to not have in the deck anymore? Lion's Eye Diamond or Burning Wish? I'm gonna go with the Lion's Eye Diamond. Leave on top. So they lose all the Lion's Eye Diamonds. Yeah. Well, we even drew the Roiling Vortexes now, although I'm willing to bet they can still kind of go off, given how many rituals are in their deck. Otherwise, we just slam Roiling Vortex and, cross fingers here. We're not going to just, sure, now we can just yield. Oh, there goes Roiling Vortex. That was our out. Not so much anymore. So next turn, how do we maximize damage? What do we draw? Arclight. So I guess we just, nothing fancy. Like that. Badlands. Faithless Looting. Please find a bird. You're not a bird. Get rid of the Arclight Phoenix. Get rid of the Lava Dart. Entomb. Please find a bird. Please. Bird. Another Swift Spear. No. All right. Go get an Arclight Phoenix. Then Lava Dart, our opponent. Getting rid of a land. Again, birds would be great. Faithless Looting. No, I don't think that's where we're at. Now, the birds come out of the bin. We get to deal 9. And next turn, if we get a next turn, we can win. But our opponent kind of has open season at this point. Actually, let's stop auto yields. They think we have a surgical, which might upend their plan. Ooh, well, we got further than I thought we would. No, I think our in-outs are correct. I don't think there's anything else we want to do here. I don't think Pyroblast is where we want to be. I think we want the surgicals to stop them. And we just want to go fast, break things. So try that. Absolutely not. This hand is awful. Bad, hand. Mull. So we have the Roiling Vortex and a Meltdown. Guess we try it. Give up on Entomb because we have no black sources. Please just play out all your 0 drops for no reason so I can melt you down. Although this is probably like a Thoughtseize or Duress. Ponder. Oh, okay. So we get to actually get the Swift Spear out, and then we hope they don't turn to us. Playing to our outs of drawing a second land and getting the Roiling Vortex down to hopefully stop them, or even drawing a Surgical. Surgical would be amazing. But we do need to actually get the Swifty down to apply some pressure. I don't think we can just Faithless Loot and hope we find useful stuff. Land? Lava Dart. Lava Dart will be useful later, but for right now, Monastery Swift Spear, poke you in the eye. Look at me, opponent. I'm keeping some pressure up. Although, unless we naturally draw land, the Roiling Vortex isn't coming down. Brainstorm, sure. I think that means we get another turn, so we get to faithlessly loot into trying to find ways around this. Panic Island. Okay. Okay, so we get a clean turn, and I think it's just faithless looting, hopefully finding useful stuff. Although giving our opponent a full setup turn where we're not going to interact with them at all scares the bejeebus out of them. So in the top 3 cards, we need land. Entomb. Well, it makes this easy. All right, so we have found a Manamorphose. So that means next turn, we can even Manamorphose Entomb. So if we get rid of Lava Dart and we get rid of Chain Lightning, we can play Arid Mesa, kind of just keep that up, attack with Swift Spear, and see what they do. So if they combo off now, they combo off now. There's very little we can do about that. Next turn, we have options. We can just play Roiling Vortex. We can melt down their artifacts if they put them out for some reason. Opponent is at 15 as well, so we could do the math and just see if we can deal 15 with our... Because, like, Swift Spear deals 4, and then add another 6, we deal 10, and then add another 2, we deal 12 if we just go all in. Oh, okay. We might just melt it. Or we might just die. But there really wasn't anything we could do before. Oh, they're even just Chrome Moxing no imprint. That's not good. They're just trying to get their... Yeah, that's not good. They're just getting their thing up. Their Storm Count up. So Storm Count at 2. Storm Count at 3. Storm Count at 4. Beseech the Mirror for... Is Tendrils? Storm Count's only at 5, though. Oh, Song of Creation. Okay. So that's what they're going to try and do. Lion's Eye Diamond. Draw 2 cards. Do they have another spell? Lion's Eye Diamond. Draw 2 cards. Need them to stop drawing them. We really do. Oh, they found a ponder. Okay. I think they got us. I think they got us. Now, if somehow they put themselves down to 12 and they pass, like, that's one thing. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to wheel. Oh, darn. If we had just drawn the land, we could have played Roiling Vortex. We could have stopped this, but not what happened, unfortunately. Hopefully they don't Tendrils. They just do that thing where they, do a whole bunch off the top and we can steal this. But with, a whole bunch of artifact mana out, I don't think that's the case. Beseech the Mirror, yep. Oh, Stormcount's at 11. We just died. We were very close, guys. We were very, very close, but just didn't get the hate piece down quick enough. Or do they just have it in their hand now? They're going for broke here. All right. Yeah, no, got nothing on that one. Oh well. We even would have drawn an Entomb. Rough. Okay, let's go to wrap up. Okay, so it's still incredibly soft to combo because it doesn't interact. It just tries to vomit a whole bunch of damage. In 5 games, we went up against 3 combo decks. So game 1 against the mono black thing that couldn't find its Shieldred. Then game 2, we lost to Charbelcher. We got nothing for Charbelcher. Game 3, again, a combo deck. I think that was the Jewel deck. We win that. Then we went up against like Maverick. We win that. Then finally, last game, we go up against just straight up Storm. And we were even able to steal a game. And we would have been able to affect the game a lot more had we actually found the lands to play the Roiling Vortex down. But we didn't. And that's just how the game works, I think this deck has something. Now, Rakdos Phoenix decks are nothing new. Although they're normally a little bit more combo-y with Buried Alive. I just didn't own enough Buried Alives to make that version of the deck. So I put this together, and as you saw, it can work. It can be aggro enough just to go. But you do have to realize you're playing Legacy. And when you're playing Legacy, you're going to run into those unfair combo decks. You're going to run into blue decks that can just, counter you into oblivion. And that's what you run up against. Now, surprisingly, we only went up against one deck with a Leyline of the Void, and we didn't see any Chalices, which was interesting because, Chalice shuts down like 50% of this deck. But overall, I like to think that was an okay go at it. And hey, I'll probably play in tune with this deck a little bit and bring it back in the future. Let me know if you guys like seeing it. Go ahead and email me at heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. That's heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions, comments, a list you want me to try and play, I can't play all the lists that are sent to me because limited time and limited cards, but hey, it's always nice to hear from you guys. Thank you very much for making it this far into the video, and I will catch you next time. Later.